Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Ariane. As you might have guessed from the title, I am pregnant. I'm expecting my first child. It was not a planned pregnancy. We're super happy with it now, but at first it was a totally different story the first 2 days. I will put a link in the description below to my pregnancy playlist. So I have a pregnancy announcement, my first trimester recap, also a baby haul. I have another one coming soon and it's almost exclusively secondhand. So if you're interested in that kind of content, go ahead and subscribe. This way you won't miss the next videos. I was also thinking of maybe doing a Q&A with my husband Martin, the father of the baby. So if you have any questions regarding either like pregnancy, marriage, our life as expats, because we are from Quebec, so the French-speaking province of Canada, but we've been living in Germany for 6 years now. We live in Berlin. So if you have any questions related to anything, just let me know in the comments below and I will be happy to answer them with him. So today we're going to talk about the second trimester. It's a video that I have been meaning to film for a while. I am actually 35 weeks and 1 day now, but the third trimester has just been kind of insane. But this is a story for a different video. But that's why I haven't been producing a lot of content, and also this video has been delayed. But today I will tell you about my symptoms and how the second trimester was for me. If you're pregnant, I would love to know how far along are you and what are your symptoms. Can you relate to mine or is it totally different? It's fun to see what other people are experiencing. So the first thing that I noticed when the second trimester started, and I talked about this in my recap of the first half of the pregnancy, I'll put the link below. My energy level went up significantly. I wasn't as tired. My food aversions went away. My nausea went away. That was such a relief because even though I think I had it better than a lot of people, like I never threw up, I was still functional. I had terrible nausea all day and I was so tired. I was taking naps all the time. That was quite difficult. But in the second trimester, I was like a new person. I had energy. I was working out, doing yoga, cleaning up the apartment, making food, producing content, making videos. It was a lot. But I felt great and I really wanted to do those things. And with the food, so the aversions went away and they were kind of replaced with uncontrollable hunger and food cravings. So I just started like having 3 breakfasts in the morning. I just got like very hungry and I wanted to eat all the time. I was very hangry. I would say, no, I'm not hungry. And then a minute later, I would say, oh my god, yes, I am hungry. I need to eat now. And I would get like very grumpy if I didn't eat right away. That was a bit difficult sometimes for Martin because he couldn't really keep up with me. But that didn't last too long. But for I think like a couple of weeks, it was really hard to predict when I would get hungry. So we kind of always had to be prepared. I was also craving a lot of junk food. Usually we eat quite healthy, but I was craving all the cookies, the pizza, burgers. It was really difficult to eat healthy, so we tried to eat as balanced as possible, but it was a struggle. And also we were in the beginning of like being confined because of COVID, so a lot of people were also going through those like food cravings, I think, but with the hormones it was just like really intense. And I'm sorry, the sun is just like playing hide and seek, so instead of just adjusting my settings every 2 minutes, I will hope that it won't be too bright for too long. I'm sorry. One of the funniest symptoms I experienced was uncontrollable laughter. I don't know why. I don't know if it's because like the hormones, but it did happen like quite a few times where something just triggered a laughter that lasted for like 5 minutes. It was just like this big burst of laughter that turned into emotion that was just so hard to contain that I almost started crying. So that was very strange, very interesting, but at least like that's positive. And I also had a little bit of mood swings, so not too much. And hold on, I'm gonna adjust it because it's just too bright. Okay, So yeah, I had mood swings. I didn't have a lot, and only in the second trimester. I've been quite lucky this whole pregnancy. I've just been a ray of sunshine the whole time, which is actually unlike me. I'm very grateful that I was able to have such a nice positive pregnancy. But in the second trimester, again with COVID, with the uncertainty of, okay, we cannot go to Quebec to see our family, our families cannot come visit us either, we don't know when they're gonna meet the baby, like so many things were just uncertain. So I struggled with anxiety for a few weeks. I noticed that it's very rare that I cry, but when I do, it's like Niagara Falls for 10-15 minutes. It's intense, sometimes for good reasons, mostly not so good reasons. Again, I was very lucky that Martin, my husband, is so understanding. Like, he never made me feel inadequate, so to say. Like, are you really crying for this? Like, seriously? He never did that. He would just hold me in his arms, comfort me, and if I wanted to talk about it, try to work through it with me if it was something that needed to be worked through. That was huge help because I could just let go of those feelings very easily then. Pregnancy crying is very, very intense. I would say also that in the first few weeks of the second trimester, I did not feel pregnant, which was a bit strange because you're not really showing. I started showing at 14 weeks, even though today I look at the pictures and I'm like, you thought that was a bump? This is a bump. Yeah, so I started to show, but I mean, it takes a while until you're really showing. And as I said, I wasn't nauseous, I wasn't extremely tired, I had energy. It was very strange, like I wasn't feeling the baby move, so I was just kind of waiting for something to happen. And around week 16, so when I was 15 weeks and I think like 5 or 6 days, I started feeling the baby move. It's really, even for myself, it's kind of hard to remember because it was so faint. But my midwife explained to me how to distinguish the kicks from other things that are going on in my belly. So I was able to know, oh, okay, I felt it. I started feeling it a bit more, and then for 2 weeks I didn't feel it that much. So that was kind of a bummer because I was always like, oh, am I? No, I was always hoping to feel it and it wasn't really happening. And then it just started kicking and moving and turning. I started feeling it really well in the 18th week, I think. And since then, like, it's really funny because you think, oh, it can't get more intense, especially like when you're in the 20s. But it just keeps getting more intense because the baby's getting bigger. It's such a wonderful feeling. That's like my favorite part of pregnancy. And at some point, I think it was around like the 25th week, it found my belly button. And for a while it just played with it, pushing it out constantly and very strongly. So painful. Apparently we have a lot of nerves on the inside and they are, I believe, connected with the crutch because it would send, it's actually called lightning crutch. It's what it sounds like, lightning in your crutch. But other than that, the kicks, the moves, the twists and turns are lots of fun, so I'm not complaining. But I was quite interesting for a few weeks. And on a physical level, I noticed different things. I was very lucky that I didn't have any bleeding gums, bleeding nose, no constipation, which is probably a side effect of being vegan. And I'm mentioning it because the majority of pregnant women suffer from bad constipation, and I really didn't have that problem. My digestion changed throughout pregnancy, but I never had any problem with it. I think that's one of the very positive things for me. Also, my skin has been so much better. It can be a very big struggle during pregnancy, but in my case it's the contrary. After I went off the pill like 5 years ago, I started having lots of pimples, which I never had before. In the first trimester I had like maybe 2 or 3. Since then I didn't have a single pimple. I'm really hoping that they won't come back after I give birth, but I'm not delusional, they probably will. It depends on my hormones. And also my hair grew a lot. It was very, very thin and it grew a lot during pregnancy. So again, knock on wood. The first trimester I lost weight, and in the second trimester I gained a healthy amount of weight, and with the growing belly came round ligament pain. I'm actually someone who usually has a lot of back pain, joint pain, because I'm too flexible, which can sound fun, but I just have like loose joints. I was very surprised that in the first trimester I didn't have any pain, because usually a lot of women report back pain, and I was like, my back is actually better now that I'm pregnant. But when the belly kind of popped, like in the beginning of the 20s, that's when I started to feel like, oh my god, it really hurts. It's actually quite sharp, and I was too active. So I mentioned earlier that I had energy, I was working out, doing yoga, cleaning the apartment, and I kind of over exhausted myself. Like I went on ice cream dates with friends, I was still riding my bike. One day I just woke up and I could barely walk. For 3 days I was stuck to the couch and I had to lie down. Like that was the only way that I could be comfortable. And my midwife came over, she massaged me a little, she showed me a few exercises, and I went to see an osteopath, and that really helped. After that point I was able to start moving normally again. The round ligament pain lasted a while. My OB actually said it will probably go away in 2 weeks, and she was right, but it just got like super painful and disrupted my day-to-day life for a while until it got better. And then I had problems with Braxton Hicks. I started feeling them in the 26th week, so I'm pretty sure that I had them before that, but that's when I knew for sure, okay, this is a Braxton Hick. Again, I was trying to be active, and I started to notice that when I would get up to film a video, so I do recipe videos as well, my bump would get really tensed. It wasn't painful, but it wasn't comfortable. I didn't know what was normal, so I didn't really worry about it. When we went on walks with Croquette, our dog, I would have several Braxton Hicks in the course of a short walk, which is not normal, but I didn't know that. They're actually good. My midwife was happy when I told her that I had them, because they're a practice for the big day, so it's like training for a marathon. But it just got to a point where I had too many and they were too close together, and it kind of got worrying in the 3rd trimester, so I will keep that story for that video, so this one isn't too long. Yeah, it was intense. So that's pretty much it. Maybe one last thing that I would like to mention is that I am loving being followed by a midwife. It's such a personalized experience. It's very different from going to the doctor where they only have 10 minutes maybe for you. My midwife, she's 32, so she's 1 year younger than I am. She takes the time. It's not just, yes, you're pregnant and maybe your partner comes along. It's like, no, you're a family. The baby is a full part of it. Martin is a full part of it. Any question that I might have, she's happy to answer. I would highly recommend, if it's something that's available to you, I would definitely recommend it, because it's helped us have this nice, relaxed pregnancy. And also because of COVID, Martin missed all the appointments. Like, he's not allowed to come to the doctor. He missed the ultrasounds. I think that's really unfair, but with the midwife, they're like, no, you're a family, you belong together, and they're not gonna separate us. I'm not gonna have to deliver without him. I'm not gonna have to wear a mask. I think that's great. Yeah, quickly, I did forget to mention that I had a really cute ultrasound at 21 weeks. They checked that organs are okay, that your baby is fine, that it's developing well and everything. And we got 3D pictures out of it, so I'm gonna insert one here because I'm just obsessed with our little baby. That was really fun, and it was nice to make it more concrete. There's really someone growing in my belly. Yeah, I think that's pretty much it for the 2nd trimester. As I said, stay tuned if you're interested in seeing more pregnancy content. I will do my best to film a secondhand baby haul for you this week. And also the baby room, it's not really a nursery, is pretty much ready, so I'm gonna film that if you want to see how it turned out. I think it's really cute, so I'm excited to show you, and I will wish you a nice rest of the day. Don't forget to subscribe, like, blah blah blah, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.